What was the darkest place you ever were or felt during your battle with alcohol?
I think being a mom and hiding my disease from my children and not being there physically, but not being completely there.
Angels and demons fighting in the deep end. I turn all my weakness into something I believe in. Every scar, every doubt, that's fuel when I speak. Welcome to the battle where the broken get free. Yeah.
Welcome to Angels and Demons Podcast. We have another episode to honor Tina, Miss Tina. So great to have you on. She is a yoga instructor that works here in Atlantic Beach, Florida, and she's way more than that. We are so excited to have her on this podcast. Just to inform you, as of today, we have 153,650 suicides. What Miss Tina is doing with Mrs. Joy King at this yoga studio here in Jacksonville, Florida is like no other yoga studio in town. They are meeting people in the place they need to be met, which is where mental health stands, where you are not alone. It is amazing to meet other people in the community, like you, Mrs. Tina.
Thank you.
That are giving and looking for those that are in very difficult places in their life. Most of us like to play it off like we're all good, but inside we're hurting, we're depressed, and we have a lot of life-similar struggles. And so understanding the connection between yoga, addiction, and mental health, your studio has brought this connection together. And many people struggling with addiction describe feeling disconnected from their bodies. How does yoga begin to rebuild that mind and body connection? And feel free to just give us a little intro on yourself too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here and super grateful to Joy. Her Shala, our studio in Mayport, I've never experienced anything like this brick and mortar that offers community to the healing aspect of everyone on all different levels. And so when we first started, she has encouraged me. It's been a passion of mine for many, many years. Actually, right when I got sober, I was introduced to a mentor who offered yoga for addiction. And so that's where I first started. It was a little over 15 years ago. And I have always wanted to carry this message. And finally, it just happened. Serendipitously, we met, and she's prodded me along because I had a lot of fear about being in public and sharing the gifts. But I know that I know in my own recovery that what I don't give away, I can't keep. So that's how this all started. So, it's been a beautiful ride. I know for anyone struggling with addiction, it is a disease of isolation and a disconnect from the body, the physical body, when we're in the using state. And so for me, I can't speak clinically, but I can speak with my experience, strength, and hope. I know that when I got on the mat, when I was in disease, I say, and in active addiction, something grounded me, yet I didn't know what it was. So what we like to offer with yoga is that we find our bodies again. We can calm the nervous system, and bringing those two together is something when we're using, we have no connection to our nervous system whatsoever. In fact, we try to hide from it. And so that connection on the mat is just a beautiful marriage. So we started that.
That emotional escape that addiction brings. Just a little bit rewinding back. So when you joined Mrs. Joy King at her yoga studio, there was something that you wanted to bring into that studio.
Absolutely.
And that message was that anyone suffering from any addiction or suffering, right, there was a safe place for them.
Yes, absolutely. And that's how we honor that space. That space is for all healing, and this is just a little snippet of that. And for me, bringing recovery, or anyone, whether it's I am a child of alcoholics. I suffered from my mother committing suicide. So mental illness, bleeds through my family. I happened to catch the disease of alcoholism. And, anyone that suffers, whether it's a spouse or a child of, or anything that's, any suffering, this opportunity to have a safe environment for everyone to come and to feel their body connection on a mat in that environment is what we're offering. Yeah.
That is really beautiful and powerful. Mm-hmm. If there were more people like this in this world, it'd be a much better place. That's so kind of you to give of your time and to join Mrs. Joy King to provide an opportunity and a place for people to go that are in need. That's incredible. Going back to what you mentioned in your family history of alcoholism, and you said your mother committed suicide?
She did when I was 9.
What was that like?
Well, I think it's taken me about 50, I'm 63, so it's taken me about 50 years to figure that out.
I can imagine.
You disconnect the trauma, that lives, and that's a big part of yoga and the physicality of, our body keeps the score. There's many, Gabor Mate, many scientists. I don't claim to be a clinician by any means, but I do know that our body keeps trauma physically in our body, and having the ability to be in a safe environment, guided, that, there's no rules, there's no expectations, none of that. We're all together, we're not alone, and it's a safe place to be, to work that up and out. Many of us in recovery are doing the work emotionally, out in the world doing the work, but we have a saying that says you
bring... It's well spoken.
You bring the body and the mind will come. And so we work that stuff out on the mat, and it's very somatic. It's very safe.
I can tell, from your mom's suicide, you mentioning that you have gravitated towards a place that meets those needs that your body is requiring. And for those that are listening, I can't imagine losing my mom at 9 years old due to alcoholism. And, obviously for you to be able to teach and go forth in yoga, you have to have had an experience that was very grounding, so to speak, yourself. There was a journey you traveled. And as through your addiction in alcoholism, what did you find was the hardest thing about it?
I think it has come in layers, and through the experience of time and the wisdom. It started out as just connecting physically without trying to put something in my body to change the way I felt, right? And, and honoring that I wasn't alone, and that I had this powerlessness over a substance, that I wanted to hide everything I felt, and it started at a very young age. I was different. And so the layers that have been able to uncover through the years have brought me back to who I actually am. And that has been through recovery. And, the part of the physicality of yoga. And
what was the darkest place you ever were or felt during your battle with alcohol?
I think being a mom and hiding my disease from my children, and not being there physically, but not being completely there. I could do all the work on the plane of what the world looked like. I had the house, the car, the children. They were a helicopter mom. We were doing all the things, but the living a double life, and the what was happening on the inside of me. I
love that expression. I didn't mean to interrupt the double life, because I feel like with addiction, we live two different lives. One to feed our addiction, and then one to play to the world that we're, quote, normal, whatever normal
God
means.
God forbid anybody saw us exactly who we really were. And
yes,
so
ma'am.
we live in isolation, and that just takes time to uncover. So I would say my darkest time is, although you would look at me from the outside and think I had everything put together, that's not who was showing up on the inside.
Well, that's beautiful because that shows what an amazing mother you are, that you mention your children right away. In some aspect, you wanted to provide something for them or whatever it is. It's very specific to you, and that is something that's beautiful as you can recognize that. And I really appreciate you sharing that.
Absolutely.
I know that's hard to like kind of unwind some of those memories. Addiction often stems from a need to escape emotional pain. In what ways does yoga help people sit with the process, uncomfortable emotions? And I want to say, like, like even talking about addiction, it's like, it makes me think of drugs, like drugs that make you feel good, like maybe some morphine with a shot of vodka, like a couple Vicodin with some vodka, like that would be really bad, right? To do that right now on the podcast in front of everyone.
Right.
It would be unacceptable.
Not a good choice.
No.
Right.
But it's something that everyone fights. In the middle, there's people fighting these addictions. They haven't come to a point where they're at that point where you realize it's a dead end. Mm-hmm. And I realize with past addictions that I have had, it's such a dead end. And you have been able to give the knowledge to people walking into your studio, the blessing of your past experiences, to let them know early on there's a different way.
That's exactly right. We're not alone, and there is a different way, and the freedom that comes from that, right? There's been times when I first got in, how you asked about the uncomfortable emotions and how yoga helps. I can tell you that has gone in phases. In early recovery, right, my nervous system was so, I couldn't sit still. You have all this newfound time that you don't know what to do with, and so early on I was practicing yoga for 10 years before I got clean. And so when I did marry the two together, I all of a sudden go, oh my goodness, like I can, because I've spent my whole life trying to avoid what's happening inside of my body. Yoga gives you the opportunity to sit. And it might be uncomfortable. There is uncomfortability, but it's a safe uncomfortability, the container of the body, breath, slowing down, because we're in addiction, we're always running from something.
We move so fast. I feel like everything. We want fast food. We want fast flights. We want everything.
Gratify.
Yeah, everything instant. And if it's not, with the horn, and all this craziness going about, it's like we are like impulsive if we don't get it right now. And I can just feel like how good that must feel to just rest.
Yes, rest.
And have that moment of peace to know everything is going to be okay.
It's okay. But it doesn't start out like that. It's a very discomforting feeling.
Stress and anxiety are major triggers for relapse.
They are.
How can specific yoga practices help calm the nervous system and reduce these triggers?
I think it's breath and slowing down and knowing what to do. Like if I just asked you to put your hand, like if you were new or when you get in that stressful situation, be it in the car, you just say, like if you're in the car and somebody cuts you off, or, whatever it is, that situation is taking a moment to regulate. For me, that sometimes is, I am responsible for what's happening in my body, but I'm also responsible for not interjecting what comes out of my mouth, right, at that time. So, yoga teaches us that. It teaches us to take a breath. What's really happening in here might not really be happening in here, and it's definitely not happening out there. So it gives us a moment to go, take a breath. I have everything I need right here, and it's my breath. It's my breath, and I don't have to react. And it takes time to practice that, and it takes time to learn that, because I'm not perfect. God knows I have moments where I'm dysregulated.
Sound like a pretty perfect yoga instructor.
No. I have moments.
I was just, when you were take a breath, I'm like, That's a really good
really
point.
good idea.
And that's a really good.
But that's yoga. You can do that at any time. You can do. I mean, I wouldn't recommend
Just be
closing your
thankful
eyes.
for that.
Yeah, closing your eyes while you're driving. But you could just take your hands and have the felt sense of rubbing, your hand on your thigh, and I am right here, right now, and I am safe, right? And that is what we do. That is the connection that happens. Yoga's been around for a really, really long time.
So besides there's yoga places all over the place.
Absolutely.
There's Pilates all over the place, but there's something so different. Tina, I can sense it. There's something very beautiful about you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there really is. There's something very genuine about you. There's nothing phony or fake about you. You can sense it. I can feel it.
Thank you.
I mean, just sitting next to you, I can feel that you genuinely want to help people that walk in that door.
I absolutely do.
And there is nothing more precious than an individual that cares and wants other people to be in the most healthiest place they can be.
Absolutely.
God bless you.
Thank you.
I mean, I truly mean that.
Thank you.
You've been through, obviously, some valleys in your life, and everyone has. But to turn around and instead of sulk, get bitter about it, resentment towards your parents, there are so many reasons that I could stand by your side and say, you have the right to be upset. But you are choosing to go into this place and make it a better life for other people. God bless you. That's emotional.
Thank you.
And yoga is sometimes seen as just physical exercise. Explain to us how the deeper physiological aspects of yoga support emotional healing. You kind of have done that, but as an expert, that healing is taking that breath, like you said. What would be the next step when someone comes into yoga that would be very important for them to know?
I think that, most people think that yoga is exercise, right? Like in the Western world, it's like you can get this body or whatever. Asana is just one tiny asana, meaning the poses of yoga. It's just such a tiny portion of yoga, right? There's so much more connected to it, how we bring our relationship with ourself and then how we present to the world. We learn that there as well. So I feel like, you don't have to be perfect or have to be flexible to walk in and be on a yoga mat, right? That's not what it's about. You bring your imperfection, and yoga gives you perfection to self. And that is what I've learned. I first walked in and started yoga because I wanted that body or that, to sweat or whatever. And meanwhile, I was sweating out scotch on the yoga mat, right? And 10 years later, here comes my first mentor with Yoga of Recovery here in Jack's Beach. And she had this beautiful offering. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I no longer have to bring the substance with me on the mat to understand that.
Do you feel like you're losing anything with scotch and yoga versus yoga without scotch?
Heck no.
Okay.
Absolutely not. I've gained it all. Trust me, I gained it all.
That's incredible. And to go back, and this is just maybe for my ignorance, maybe everyone else watching this podcast understands, but you mentioned this specific type of yoga. Mm-hmm. Can you pronounce that word?
I did.
The type of yoga.
The asana?
Yes.
Asana. So the asana,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I act like you know what I'm talking about.
No, it's okay.
Asana is not a particular yoga. That is actually the physicality of yoga. The poses is
Okay.
the asana. Like pranayama is the breath. So
Okay.
it's just the different name for the poses. So everyone feels like, oh, I can't do yoga because I'm not flexible, right? But we bring our inflexibility and our imperfection to the mat, and the perfection happens on the mat.
I think that's a really key point. So in any addiction or any physical depression, suicide, anything that you are struggling with, Mrs. Tina just gave a very clear example. You have to be able to go there, and all you need to do is be able to breathe.
Show up and breathe.
Mm-hmm. So describing that to me, I mean, I can do that. But if you want my leg to bend 180
Exactly.
degrees, oh my God damn!
It's just not about that, you know. But no,
Man, I'd be in the hospital.
That might be a benefit when you spend a little time.
Yeah, that's true. You
That-
start to gain some of that other stuff, right?
Well, and like in recovery yoga, addiction is a trauma. It's a big T trauma, right? And we carry and hold that in our nervous system in places in our body. And you would be amazed at how unstuck you get when you get on a mat, right? If you allow it to happen.
So when you let that happen and you embrace the teachings in which you give to students that come in there, when do you start to see the most change and effectiveness in the people that really apply themselves?
That's a good question. I think when they can begin to get honest of what's really going on in their bodies, like really allowing the felt sense of their bodies having the wisdom that they know they need to get in touch with. And that happens there, believe it or not. It's kind of amazing. We don't do a lot of moving around. In fact, we do, I'm sure that's probably one of the questions, but you know, we stay really close to the ground on purpose. It's safe there.
That's a safe place.
Yeah, it's a really safe place. We hold positions for a while, sometimes 3 to 5 minutes in one position to just allow the body to feel what it needs to feel. So that's when I see changes, when somebody can just settle. When the tears flow, you know, involuntarily, like, oh my gosh, I have things that have been stuck in my body for years and I didn't even know it.
And you let it go.
It just lets go. Yeah.
You let it go.
Yeah.
And that brought me to a word like the breath work, the pranayama. Did I pronounce that right?
Pranayama.
Pranayama is a big part of yoga. And the conscious breathing helps when facing cravings or panic. Can you give me an example of what someone coming in that's craving that panic or that type of behavior, how that breathing helps?
Would you like to try it?
Hey, I would love to try
Okay,
that. Thank
let's
you
just-
for offering.
Yeah, let's just do it for a second. Okay, so
Am I sitting upright?
you're
Or-
doing great.
Okay. That's not
Maybe I would
sometimes I
just
can lean like my shoulder or
take
something
both
like that.
of your hands and just
Okay.
place them on your thighs, one hand on each thigh. Yeah.
Okay.
And close your eyes. And just take a moment to feel the ground below you and feel the safety in your own body. And take a breath on my count from your belly all the way up to your shoulders. We're going to inhale 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold it up in your shoulders. Hold it. And exhale for the count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it down deep in your belly. And inhale one more time up to your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. And exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, and let it all go. So that breath.
That feels good. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie, that felt
Yeah,
really
the
good. I think I
breath.
needed that.
Don't we all?
Wow.
So you can do that all on your own at any time, and that's yoga, right?
That's incredible.
So in the nervous
I
system,
just feel relaxed. I
yeah.
feel more lubricated. Just more like you said, safe, grounded. And that was a very simple
very
exercise.
simple. So when you take an exhale and make it a little bit longer than the inhale, all of a sudden your nervous system reduces reactivity. You get in touch, completely with your body and your nervous system at that time. It's a great relaxant.
Miss Tina, that was amazing. Integrating yoga into daily mental practices. You just showed us, for someone brand new to yoga, which was just me.
Me too.
At that
We're
moment,
always students.
I just got my
always.
first yoga lesson. That felt so
Right
good.
on. Now, take your foot and touch my toes. No.
Yeah, I was going to say I could do the hand, but maybe even skeptical. What's the simplest way to start? And all that. You were so clean and all that. Here we are in Jacksonville. We're in Atlantic Beach.
Yes.
You have a yoga studio with Mrs. Joy King over in Atlantic Beach, Florida. There are so many people in Jacksonville that need this. Where can they go? How do they find you? Like, where are you located?
So the name of the studio is Consider It, which is absolutely beautiful. It's really actually all one word, but it's Consider It. Imagine that, Consider It. And we're on.
I love that name.
I know, it's fabulous. And we're on Mayport Road. And we have a beautiful website.
Over the flyby.
That's it. You go over
I love
the flyby.
that. I love Mayport Road. So much character.
I know.
It's like that's a true beach town.
That
Get a little bit of everything. Tasty
When
Thai.
you're up there, you
everything.
see it all.
You do.
Kind of see it all.
You can you see the ocean from the flyby?
No.
I thought one day I could. Maybe you can.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it's so cool because you're going down Atlantic Boulevard and then you're literally just.
It's
just
awesome.
going by. That is
but
awesome.
the really funny thing is that the studio actually used to be an old fish warehouse, right? And it's remodeled.
Really?
And it was. I don't remember the name, but everyone was like, "Does it smell like fish?" And yeah, it doesn't smell like fish. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So it's great. It's so great. And
that's awesome. So that's where they can go, and
Yep.
that's where people that are fighting addiction today, in the present moment, whatever that might be, whatever struggle that mental health struggle is, they can go to seek comfort, be safe, and they can be participating in simple exercises that can help make the community more healthy.
Absolutely. It starts with us, right? It starts with us.
I just am so amazed that you have the heart to do that. You go to a lot of these other places like Jet, like Pilates or stuff, and there's these expensive fees and memberships and all this kind of stuff. And there's never been you've never once sitting here mentioned anything about financial cost or anything like that. It's about the person. That's so beautiful. Because, like, this whole podcast, there's nothing in it but for the person. We're trying to help. Like, I think the focus today for us all was just realizing that there was how many suicides up until today?
Yeah.
There
we
was
just found that
there
out.
was
We're in not even 2 months in.
2 months into the year. We got 153,650 suicides. So, listen, people are not feeling okay. People are not feeling all right.
No.
And I'm going to tell you, I've had some low moments. When your bank account is hitting zero, you're fighting on all ends. You don't know what bills are more important to pay. You're drowning, and all you want to do is jump off a bridge. Like, it's so ignored. These 153,000 people right here, I think they were ignored. They were crying out for help, and someone wasn't there for them.
Or pretending to be someone that they weren't, because they didn't know any different. They didn't know any different. Society wants that from us, right? Everything has to look so good on the outside. And they're crushed on the inside, right? So we're just trying to, and my arm of that is just, through recovery, that's what we get to offer, recovery yoga, where we are. It's one little arm of it, which is beautiful. I feel so blessed and so grateful to be able to get to do that. It's only every other week right now, every other Sunday, the offering.
I love how you said that, the offering. The studio's name is
Consider It.
And the offering is every other week. And what is the cost when someone goes there?
It's a donation only, and it's $10. And that donation, Joy has set it up that it goes right back into the community. So it's
Do you guys hear this? I mean, really, I want you to listen. This is incredible. This is every other week. Consider it to where you can make a donation to improve your mental health, to help this community of Atlantic Beach be a healthier place. Let's be the healthiest place in the country. Let's
Wouldn't
be
that be
the
nice?
lowest suicide rate. Let's be the most healthy. Book a class with Mrs. Tina or Joy King. Be there, be present, show up, do the small things. I just did it right here with you.
You
Just
did.
taking a breath, just being. Look how kind you are, how gentle you are.
You're so sweet.
I
Thank you.
mean, I can tell like you don't have a stone to throw.
I don't.
And-
I could, but I don't.
Yeah, you don't have a stone to throw. And I think that provides that safe place that you're speaking about so people can go there and participate in a yoga class where they don't feel judged. They don't have to look a certain way. Their body shape doesn't have to look a certain way. Maybe they don't want to go to yoga because they're 100 pounds more than they'd like to be. And so they don't have that perfectly woman's body and pants, yoga pants, or Lululemon pants that every, lady wants to look like. Maybe it doesn't look that way. But at your studio, I feel like anyone at any point could walk in there. They're not going to be judged, but they're going to be helped.
And that's every class at our studio. It's actually, that is the studio for that. It is such a diverse, loving community that we have there. It's very, very unique. It's not, like one popped up on every corner. It's very unique. It's home. It's a shala.
Tell me a little bit about this uniqueness. So you have obviously been, even during your addiction, you were doing yoga.
Absolutely.
And then after your addiction, you have been doing yoga. So yoga has been a part of your life for a long time.
25 years.
25 years. So you're
Yes.
no slouch when it comes to
Well,
this profession.
Some things. I haven't been a teacher that long, no.
When you met the owner, Mrs. Joy King, what was your initial meeting and relationship like, and how did it come about where she gave you this opportunity to bless the community?
Well, first of all, I look at her and she's like the sister of another mother, right? We look like we were sisters, first
That's
of all.
beautiful.
Yeah, she emanates the heart of service. Like, you don't even have to be in conversation more than a minute, and you're like, she's pure. This place is pure, and it feels right. And so what she's giving, she's walking the walk. Yeah, she's walking the walk.
Do you know what has promoted you've shared your story? What has given Mrs. Joy King that ability to want to do that?
Well, she's been in education her whole life professionally, and she helps children and has her whole professional life. And I think it was always a dream of hers. I don't want to be speaking out of context, to have a place that she could share that heart with the community and help. And she's touching so many lives by it not just being a yoga studio. There's art therapy, there's music. We have, we're helping autistic children. We are doing suicide prevention. We have recovery, and we have the beautiful hot yoga. I mean, we just have it all. We have yin yoga. There's just so many offerings for so many diverse communities.
That's
And,
beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That really is
It
beautiful. So when you guys first met, what was that like?
It was love at first sight.
Aw, that's precious.
No, it's
That's
seriously. It was
precious.
really like, we're very similar physically. We're both huggers and criers, and just, we really are sisters. And it's kind of, there's no irony to that whatsoever.
There's a bond between
There
you
is, yes,
guys. And
yes.
through that bond, because you can kind of sense it when there is a strong bond in ownership or instructors, it's a stronger gift you can give to the people that are
people.
walking in the door, because your intention is to pour love into them so that they can become stronger in whatever aspect that looks like for them. And, this podcast, we call it Angels and Demons because there's very, very happy times in life and there's very dark times in life. And, with yoga, you get to connect in whatever that person's going through. And you get to kind of just be with them and help them. And what a blessing that is. And for you guys both to give in that way, what is something that I haven't asked or done that you feel like is a really important part of what you're doing here at the beaches?
Wow. I again, just having this beautiful shala place to come, for anyone that wants to discover more close relationship with self, if it is a connection with or a lack of connection to body, this is a beautiful place to be. The studio is offering that, and all the instructors bring such diverse, loving their self. She has a unique way of choosing instructors and pushing us. When you said angels and demons, and you were talking about, I don't want to go off task for a second, but it's important, of how we met and how this came about. It was my demon, a demon of mine, is fear of being in public. And like, this is like, before we got started.
Slow down for me a little bit. Go into, why do you feel that's your demon?
Well, I'm getting over it. It's a beautiful thing. Look, I'm doing this today.
You are.
But what Joy does, she has this innate way of finding the right person for the right spot to help others. Like, she finds the conduit of love to bring it and to pass that on to community.
I've never heard of a studio simply giving of their time and energy for those that are in addiction. Yeah. Was that your idea? Was that her idea?
I have had it before. So there were mentors that have gone before me.
So you saw this need.
Yes.
And you saw the opportunity
Absolutely.
of yoga being used to help those in addiction.
Yes.
And so you wanted to bring forth that concept at the studio.
Absolutely. And she saw it in me, and it's just that my little demon, if you want to call it that, my character defect of fear of being like, oh, I don't have what it takes to be that person to do that. She saw it in me. She knew that I could do it.
Could you tell when seeing her that she saw that addiction, alcoholism, heroin, cocaine, it doesn't matter what the drug is, sex, pornography, whatever it is, that you saw one of the most beautiful ways to where, like, you broke it down to where you can sit and be safe. I'm telling you, with domestic abuse and all that, there are many people that do not feel safe. There are children that do not feel safe. They don't. So there's a studio that you have made that specifically addresses the addiction, the difficulties that people have, the depression, and they can go and be free of that. Mm-hmm. I've just never heard of this. I mean, this is the coolest thing since sliced bread.
Beautiful. My little slice is the recovery section of it, but there are many that offer.
No, I can tell you play a greater role into this because your heart is beautiful and in the right place.
Thank
and like
you.
I said, in this industry, when you are in the industry of servanthood, to where you go into your community and you're not looking for money, you're not looking for a handout, but you're looking to give back to bless those that are in need of having someone to help them, to put the hand to someone that's falling off the cliff, the 153,650 people that took their life. When you are the one willing to do that, there is a blessing waiting for you that you have no idea what's coming your way.
I'm just saying, to me,
it is going to come like a tidal wave.
It was given to me, so it's my responsibility.
Well, you better be ready. You better anchor down because I'm telling you, for you and Joy King, like, there is a blessing. For the mayor of Jacksonville, he should be looking at you as an example of what everything should be in this city.
I didn't do it. She did it.
Because it's set up in a way to which you get the people that are in most need and you support and help them and bring them up. Right. And it doesn't mean that just because you're rich, you don't need help. Just because you're poor or this or that. It's all people of all kind, of every color, of every aspect. And that's what's so beautiful about what you're doing is it's for everyone. And you have 25 years of yoga experience.
It's so great, isn't it? It's
yes,
so much fun.
Because you're a true professional with a loving and a kind personality to where I feel like if I was really struggling with something, you would come to me and you would help me.
I would hope so. Thank you.
Like I really
I'm right
mean
here.
that.
I am right here. They were there for me, and I am here for them.
Can you share one story of someone that was battling with a addiction that through the process of your yoga studio came back to you in whether it's midway, beginning, or end, and just said to you, you saved my life?
Yes, in an anonymous kind of way, I will give you the big scope picture of that. Yes. I had a woman not too long ago in class. We have a little moment at the end of class that we share if anything came up with us, right? And she didn't want to share on a group level, but she came to me later, and it was a domestic violence situation. But she was caring, and she is a fellow addict. And she was able to share with me because she was, bawling at the end of class. And usually we just allow, whatever comes up, comes up. And I'm not there to save people. They get to be with their own emotions. And so, but she came to me afterwards. And she was one that started, and she would fidget, and she couldn't, sit still in the very beginning. And we're like 5 months in, 6 months in, and she was able to share that she unfortunately was leaving a marriage because of domestic abuse. And, it was a safe place for her to talk. And she felt it in her body, like she had not shared that with anyone until she felt that experience come up and out of her body after class. And so, that is the container in which I want to hold for anyone that needs that, It was there for me, and I just want to give it back. That's all.
That's a very, very special story to leave us with, because that's a prime example of what you're doing on a daily basis for other people. I mean, that is talking about personal insight. I mean, many people think they have to fix themselves. Before doing yoga, what would you say to someone who feels they're not in the right place emotionally to start? Some people, especially those that have bipolar, that have extreme mood swings, I feel like it's hard for them to be emotionally still. What do you do in an environment in a studio when you find that safe place, or the breath that I was able to do that. But if you find someone is not able to do that, where do you start?
That's a good question. I'd put them in the back of the room. No, I'm kidding.
That's for the other activities, right? Because you have other activities, you said.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of what I was aiming for, because you have more than yoga.
Yes,
you have.
So we have art therapy.
Yes,
we have all different kinds of music therapy. We have
there you go.
All kinds
Bingo.
of things.
You answered it.
It might not be a dark room with only 14 other people that
Bullseye.
you feel like with
Bullseye.
4 walls around you. That might not be. Everybody's different. What safe means to each person.
To have that assessment,
right,
and the ability to be able to read that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Because I know that, if someone just finished 2 8-balls, the ability to sit still and breathe could be almost impossible. Oh. Maybe they need to go play the ukulele in the backyard.
Something. I have a great exit strategy for everyone.
So that is, I mean, that's brilliant.
I don't know if they would show up in the first place.
Well, I mean, trust me. There was one gentleman I talked to that said he got his last 8-ball of Coke, and he drove down to Florida, left Kansas, and never touched cocaine ever again.
Good for him.
So it's interesting that, you could experience over the time of the studio where you have different environments and different people that come in. But your studio is so arranged in such a brilliant manner to where no matter what system the body is in or going through, you're able to fit them in a category that can most help them.
Absolutely.
I don't think there is a studio that I know of that does that. If you are at a place in a Pilates or yoga studio, the instructor is going to open the door and kick you out.
Right.
Am I wrong?
No, you're very right. And that's what's so beautiful about the offerings there. And that speaks volumes of the heart where the studio started. Find the person to teach the thing, right, to help the person that helps the community. It's like this trickle effect of love that has just transpired over the course of the last year. And it just keeps getting better because there are no limits of helping our community, right? And so if I don't have the offering, I know all the other instructors that whether it might be somebody that is just new, but they need to work it out, and they need to go to a hot class and sweat for 90 minutes and just work. It might
That's a
not
good
be
point. That's a really good
laying on the
point.
floor and breathing. It might be just the opposite of what that person. But I think that we all have that ability and characteristics to read the room, as it were, to help each individual, and I think that's what we're there for, right?
That's an excellent point, to be able to read the room, and you meet people where they are,
always,
so that they
with
can
love.
with
love.
Yeah, I mean, I can feel that a mile away, that you have a heart of love and compassion for those that enter. I mean, what a blessing and a gift it is for people to walk and meet you and Mrs. Joy King, because you guys have nothing but love to give.
Thank you for saying that.
And I think that love and kindness is one of the biggest gifts we can give to one another, because it allows someone to feel, whether they got that as a kid or not, it gives them the opportunity to know that you at that moment care for their well-being. And Miss Tina, that's precious.
Well,
you're a beautiful person.
Thank you.
And I can't thank you enough for coming on Angels and Demons podcast and just sharing about you through your vulnerability in your valley through your experience of what led you to become not just a yoga instructor, but a healer.
Thank you.
A healer.
It's been such an honor.
Yeah, to meet people in their darkest hour and to be able to help guide them, encourage them, so that they have hope for each and every day that they go through.
Absolutely.
And there is no price you can put on that. So whether it's a donation now, it's going to be a gift more than you ever know it. I know it. It's going to be a gift where the community recognizes you as being one of the biggest influencers in Jacksonville for helping those that just need a hand. So, I mean, that is so cool that we have this in common, where we love and we value people,
Absolutely.
where we just want to reach out to break the chains around mental health. Stop making it taboo. Stop making people feel insecure to share their weaknesses or their hurts. Let them be open. Let people like me, Miss Tina, and let her help you, guide you to a place that can bring you to a healthy mental place. Because with that, you can benefit and contribute so much more towards your family, your community, and to yourself, most importantly. Because if you're not mentally healthy yourself, you can't really help someone else mentally in need. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Right.
Any final words that you would like to give to subscribers that are really struggling, that still are sitting on the couch or taking a drive home from work, haven't taken that first move? They're going through the rough times. They heard the suicide numbers. They're overwhelmed. What words of wisdom would you give them in this moment as we go about in closing?
I would have to say that no matter where anyone is in their addiction, that understanding that you're not alone, that there are those of us who have walked before you and made it to the other side, that there's hope. That the price to pay to work through that and get to the bottom of who you really are is worth everything. It's worth everything to the freedom of the other side. And then the freedom that we get to give to share that with other humans, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Miss Tina, you're precious. You're very precious. This has been Angels and Demons podcast. We'll see you next time. Miss Tina, you are such a blessing and joy. May God bless you.
Bless you. Thank you.
Subscribers, I just didn't feel it was right without you being able to meet Joy King. Joy King,
Thank you.
it is so awesome to have you on Angels and Demons podcast because of the work you are doing here in Atlantic Beach. Having this podcast time with one of your most amazing yoga instructors, Miss Tina, was just special. But you, too, are doing something beautiful, and you're giving back to the community. And I just want you to share with us on your heart of why you and not other people. Why are you wanting to give back and do this?
That's a really good question. I've always had a servant heart. I don't know how to be any different. I've been teaching for 36 years in Duval County. My husband and I work at the Marine Science Center in the Dropout Prevention Program. So we've worked with kids our entire life, and we see the need for healing and hope, because as a teenager, they can't regulate anything. And to have a safe space. So I actually bring a student, only one at a time though, because they have to be mature enough. But I bring them into a class that's restorative, and they come in tight. And to just sit and watch them fall over a bolster and see like the tension and the fear release. It's such a safe place. Tina spoke so beautifully about it.
Spoke amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a feeling. It's not
incredible. It is a feeling.
It's a feeling.
It is a feeling.
When you watch people, it's such a gift to watch people walk in the door. You can see their shoulders drop.
And just relax.
There was, can I tell just a quick
thing? Please.
So it was a woman who was coming to her recovery class, and Tina and I were the only ones in the studio. I was at the desk. She was in the room preparing it. And the woman came into the room, or into the studio, and I saw her shoulders drop. And then I said, welcomed her, and I said, well, Tina's here. Let me open the door. And she had not ever been into the studio. And she walked into the studio. Tina walked up, and she could not take another step. She just started crying. And we said, are you okay? You know, like, it's okay. You don't have to stay. What can we do for you? And she said, I have never been in a place that felt the love. Like I could feel love walking in this store.
Tangibly feel it.
Yeah.
What a testimony.
Yeah.
I mean, what a testimony. I mean, I am so glad you were able to come on and share that, because there was something deep down in me that was not okay without you coming on and subscribers seeing your face, because you two are both like two people as one, bringing about a message. Well, you are. You're bringing
really
about
are,
a message, and you guys know how to do it in such a gentle, loving way. And there's such a gift in that. You know, and as a teacher, what grade did you teach? Were you high
Right
school?
now, I'm teaching 12th graders.
Okay, 12th graders. Okay.
They've lost their chance to graduate at their high school.
Oh, wow.
So they come to us, and we are their last chance to.
Oh, you have stories.
We have a lot. My husband's the hope dealer. He just gives hope, and it's amazing.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
So you
we're
teach,
grateful.
you basically are instilling in kids that there is, it's not the end.
It's not the end.
It's not the end. There's an opportunity, and you're providing that opportunity for them. How exciting.
We're grateful for that honor. Like, we love what we do, and we are so grateful to be in that place and be able to do that.
You're built this way. This is who you are. This is your identity. Your identity is being a servant and a helper for other people. And God bless both of you. Thank you for coming on. I mean, I really genuinely mean that, because, you know, the community doesn't deserve you.
No.
They don't deserve you, but they get you. And so I hope that subscribers take it seriously, and they go there and they walk in the door, and your studio is just flooded with people that just sing songs of the wonderful experiences they have with you guys. And until then, when it's just like, you know, like, Vinny, you won't believe this and this and this, you got to come back and share those stories. Promise?
Promise.
All right, deal. I'm going to shake on that one. There we go.
Thank you so much.
This has been Angels and Demons Podcast, and until next time, we hope you are safe. And again, if you or anyone else is struggling with suicide or any other mental health issue, do not be afraid to reach out. You can email us, you can text us, you can call us. We are there for you. You are not alone.
Angels and demons fighting in the deep end. I turn all my weakness into something I believe in. Every scar, every doubt, that's fuel when I speak. Welcome to the battle where the broken get free. Yeah.